All right. I figured I would do my best to cheer anybody up who might be starting to feel a little bit bummed out or depressed or any other emotions in these times of turmoil. So I thought I would share some of my bad date stories to see if anybody has an opportunity to smile at my expense. Because I mean, without seeing me in the classroom, you don't get the full effect of my goofy accent. So since I have several of these, I'll post them periodically just to see if they have a measurably positive effect on anybody's state of mind in this trying time. First date that I have to share is somebody who I met on Tinder or Bumble, one of the dating apps. I don't remember which, honestly and truly. And it was the winter time, and I was wearing a leather jacket. This leather jacket, as a matter of fact. And something notable about that jacket is it weighs a ton. It is a really heavy jacket. All I can say is it's exhausting to wear because of how heavy it is. But without the quilted lining, it's really not very warm. It's a good winter or a spring jacket, but if it's really cold out, it needs a base layer. And I did not wear a base layer because I was trying to look as put together as I can without putting any pressure on myself to look professional. Um, Most people who know me understand that a black t-shirt and light jeans is pretty much the only thing I wear, and proud of it. But we met up at Panera in Paducah, and I got there a bit early and noticed they were trying to close. So when my date arrived, we talked about getting something to eat there, but I, having worked in a restaurant, kind of said, they're probably not going to be too thrilled about us ordering while they're trying to break down the kitchen and clean up and close. So why don't we just get something to drink here, talk for a little bit, and then we can head out and we'll find somewhere else to eat, which was fine with my date. She understood. And so that's when I gave her the first red flag that she noticed, which was the way my hands shake. Didn't even really notice. But when I sat down with my drink, it was going like this. And it was partially due to the cold. Partially, my hands have just always shook. I've never had a good explanation for it. But if I'm ever holding a glass of liquid, it is really noticeable. So she's looking at my hand as I'm swigging down whatever I was drinking. I think it was hibiscus tea or something. She's like, "So you nervous?" I said, "No, not really. I mean, slightly, because we just met and you're pretty cute, but not so much that I'm going to be stumbling over my words or anything. You have a lot of coffee before you got here." And so that's probably the second red flag, which is I told her I haven't had coffee or anything with caffeine in it since I was 14 years old. It's like, no, sorry. So I'm starting to get these weird looks. So I changed the subject because I didn't know what else to do. And I think I said something stupid. I'm not sure. I mean, there's a 90% chance of me saying something stupid at any given time. Probably saying something stupid right now. But we went on our way, and we ended up at a place called Super Bowl in Metropolis. And that place is pretty cool. We ended up staying till last call. We had a pitcher of beer and threw darts and kind of talked more about what going out meant and doing things was, and drinking in different beer types that we liked or didn't like. And on the way back home, we decided to stop off at a place called Waffle Hut. And Waffle Hut had this really terrific breakfast, open 24 hours. And that was our big meal for the day, was eating at Waffle Hut. And we just kind of did this sort of sampler thing with waffle with fruit and whipped cream on it, omelet, because I am an omelet person. I just love omelets. And we just tried everything, biscuits and gravy, omelet, that waffle, a couple other things that I don't remember, and ended up talking for a couple more hours before she went home and I went home. And that was that. I never heard back from her, which may lead you to wonder why this is a bad date story. So the thing about me is, if I ever think I'm friends with anybody, I will do anything I can for that person. I will try to move heaven and earth if somebody asks me a favor, and I trust them. I trust lots of people. So 6 months or so later, out of the blue, this person whose contact is still in my phone from where we were texting each other after confirming that neither of us were axe murderers. So I need some help putting up a fence. Okay, I'm not doing anything this Thursday. I be up. Is there anything you need? Yeah, so I showed up and put in a good 6 or 8 hours of work putting up a fence for this person I went on a date with, in return for what amounted to maybe 2 glasses of ice water. I brought power tools, some hand tools, screws that this person didn't have. And she very gratefully allowed me to pet her dog and thanked me by shaking my hand and sent me back on my way. And I never stopped to think for a minute that I had been taken advantage of or used. But that was the follow-up to a first date that I got ghosted right after. And I got ghosted after helping put up the fence too, which, I did my good deed. I don't have any regrets necessarily. But the ghosting kind of stung a little bit. It's like, okay, I understand that clearly you have no use for me except for being a strong back and weak mind. But if I could just at least get an explanation for why you're never going to speak to me again, that would be awesome. But, this was the kind of person who you have a conversation with and quickly find out that all of the jobs she's had in the past 6 months were personality conflicts because the managers just didn't get her. And it's like that old saying goes, if everybody you meet is an asshole, then maybe it's not those people who are the assholes. So that's date story number 1. There are plenty more where that came from. Keep your eyes open. You may find additional ones posted to YouTube so that I can embarrass myself across the internet in perpetuity throughout the known universe. But if it makes you smile or makes you laugh, then I'm doing my part. Take it easy.